What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I want to explain what many people do right after Christmas that some economists are saying do not do this because this is going to cause major issues. Now, hopefully you guys are having a good or even a great month, hopefully great end of the year. Stock market's doing a little bit better, which is awesome. But let's get into what many economists are saying you should not do. Because if you're like most people, myself included, then you use this time to, especially right now, to get ready for the holidays. You're not really out doing too much shopping, and you probably already did it. You're spending time with loved ones for the holidays. You're spending time with friends, enjoying good food, possibly even exchanging presents and gifts, right? But if you're like many people, and I do this as well, so I am guilty of this, you are probably waiting until after the holidays for the exceptional deals, right? On items that just didn't sell at your favorite stores, that the store just has too many of that product, and so they want to liquidate. So you know the deals are coming. I do this every single year. This year, I may refrain from doing this. Here's the reason why. Right now, there's a major issue. But here's where the major issue really comes in. Experts believe at this time that our already fragile supply chain will get even worse after the holidays. They say that this is going to be attributed to a few things. Number one, stores not knowing how much inventory to rebuy because they don't know how long it's going to take to get, so they don't know how much to rebuy. Here's the problem with that. If a store doesn't know, or an executive doesn't know how much inventory to rebuy to keep their shelves full, what happens? Chances are they will not buy enough, or they'll buy too much. If they buy too much, the problem is then they will have to almost liquidate those items as well to get through their inventory. If they buy too little, the problem is the price will usually be a little bit higher in order to keep that inventory in stock for just a little bit. I know this because I do the exact same thing with my stores on Amazon. Is if I order too much, I liquidate. If I don't have enough, I increase my price to make sure it stays available for longer until my new products come in. Creates an issue. Supply and demand. Here's the other thing. Executives don't know how much expendable cash consumers are going to have after the holiday season. Now, executives don't know this, to the dollar anyway, but they don't know what to expect. And so if people really spent this holiday season, they got into debt, right? And new reports come out and it's like, oh, Americans lost a lot of money. Or during the little crash that we saw, the little correction, I might add, with the stock market or with crypto. Did people sell? Did they lose money, right? And then the other issue is a possible recession. These are all things that need to be considered. And this is why some are saying, do not go and spend your money, your hard-earned money, on something that you don't need. Don't go and buy something and increase the demand when the supply is still very low. They say don't do this. It's only going to cause us harm here in the United States. Well, I want to bring in the former U.S. Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, because he has this to say. He said, and I quote, "We've got a fairly serious inflationary situation," and he warns that the Federal Reserve's delayed response to fighting high inflation will actually tip the U.S. into a recession. The problem is this could happen very quickly. Here's one of the problems that Americans are facing at this time. And right now, everything is just more expensive due to the rise in inflation. But here's what is being discussed. How do we lower inflation? We lower inflation by raising interest rates. We lower inflation by slowing and eventually stopping any additional stimulus that the Federal Reserve is pumping back into the economy. And they're doing this with their bond buying. But at the same time, the economy has to continue to thrive when we raise interest rates in order to lower inflation, right? We got to stop printing more money. But at the same time, the economy needs to continue to thrive. If we see it dip, they say that is where we're coming into a recession. But here's the problem that many economists believe we are facing. after the holidays, and keep this in mind if you plan on going and finding those deals, after the holiday season, stores will begin to liquidate products that they bought for the holiday season that just didn't sell. And this is going to cause additional spending. And let me know what you plan on buying, okay? For me, I pretty much bought everything that I needed this year. I do plan on buying a few other things. One thing that I usually buy every single year is I buy a new office chair. It's just one of the things I always buy. I usually buy new stuff for my office, for the business, just get those nice little tax write-offs, right? But, so that's what I do. And it's something I buy every single year. And it's something that I need, that I'm going to buy eventually, so why don't I just buy it now? But here's the thing. By spending more money, we're potentially just going to cause more inflationary pressures on things that we may or may not need. And because of the supply and demand on a lot of products, like the chairs, the office chairs that I'm planning on buying, every single one that I've even looked at, made in China. Every single one. It does not have 50 chairs in stock. Has like 2, 3, maybe 4. Very, very small supply. But here's the good news. Economists believe that we may end up with 7% inflation over the next couple of months. However, they say it would not be here to stay. They believe that we could reach 7% for a couple months, but then it's going to drop back down into the 6s, eventually come back down into the 5s, and that's probably where we're going to sit for a little bit, in the 5% range, 5 to 6%. So here's what many are saying. Don't go and buy products and items that you don't absolutely need this time. Do I absolutely need a chair? No, I don't. But at the same time, would it make sense to buy a chair? Let's say the chair cost me $100. Would I rather pay 3% more for the exact same office chair as opposed to waiting until the next year? And maybe I have a great year next year, who knows? But this year, maybe it's going to save me 30, 40, 50% in taxes, right? So buying this chair in 2021 makes sense. Here's what else they're saying. This is only going to increase demand on products that are already in short supply. So why buy something that's just going to go and see, okay, we only have 4 of these. Let's talk about the chairs on Amazon. We only got 4 of these chairs. But let's say you buy one and 2 others buy one. So now there's just 1 chair available. Guess what? That chair, that price of that chair is probably going to go up. So the last person that buys it is going to spend a lot more than I did, or the next guy, or the next guy. So it creates an issue. They're also saying, don't spend money that you do not need to spend. In times like this, and I'm on it. I've been telling you guys this for a little while. Do not spend money that you don't need to spend. And here's the reason why. You can save it. Yeah, you could save it for a rainy day, pay for some other bills, debt, whatever. But here's the reason why. Let's say the US goes into a recession. Even if it's a short-term recession. Let's say we dive down into a recession. What would be a good thing to buy in a recession? Any asset whatsoever. You want to go buy a house? Go buy a house. Because guess what? In a recession, home prices, they're a lot lower. But once we get back out of that recession, right? Once we start to actually thrive again, guess what happens? Home prices go up. Guess what else happens in a recession? Stock prices. Guess where they go? Most cases down. So what should you be buying during a recession? Stocks in quality companies. Not a company that was, a SPAC. Not a company that was just started, 3 months ago, or just hit the stock market 3 months ago. A quality company that's been around for years, or one that is going to really push into the next, 5 to 10 years. That's what you need to be investing in. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, exactly what I'm doing. Just today, just to give you an idea. Let me just look really quick. The last I checked, so just today, my Robinhood account, just my Robinhood account, not any of my other ones, just Robinhood. That one did a little bit over 5.6%. A little bit over 5.6% today. Pretty good. Now, if I only invested $100, I'd get $5.60, but I'm not just investing $100. Got a lot more into it. So yeah, it was pretty much pushed a lot by Tesla. That did really well when Tesla, I think, was like 5% itself. But again, almost everything was green today. Some red, but almost everything was green. That's the great thing about investing, is some days you're doing almost absolutely nothing. I was doing some research on a video on this one. I was doing research on a video I'm going to be doing later, talking about Omicron and the potential stimulus package that we may see, what President Biden's been doing. I'll address that later. But while I'm doing research on this stuff, stocks are still paying. The stocks are still doing well. They're still growing, which is great news. So here's what I can tell you. Right now, many say, do not go and buy stuff you don't need after Christmas, because it's going to cause major issues. Major issues could arise simply because we're buying stuff that we do not need, spending money that we technically don't have because we should be investing it, saving it, or paying off debt. So what economists are saying is, be smart. Use this time to figure out how you can really benefit in the future. Buy stuff today that you can use. Invest today in things that you know are going to be useful in the future, and plan accordingly. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know down in the comment section below. I just wanted to fill you in on what economists are saying right now, because I do this exact same thing. I was actually planning on going out potentially Sunday in order to buy a few things. Now, I still might, but I'll be thinking more than once. I'll be thinking twice, 3 times. Do I really need that? Because if I buy that, could we see inflationary pressures on other things go up? So that's just my thinking, but I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on right now. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.